Back when voice communication was still king, phone calls weren't the only game in town. Some wireless carriers offered push-to-talk, or a walkie-talkie two-way radio-like method of communication for when voice calls just wouldn't do. Recently, AT&T rebooted its own push-to-talk offering for North America, and thanks to our friends at the carrier, we've got some handsets to test it out. I'm Michael Fisher, this is Pocket Now, and this is your guided tour of enhanced push-to-talk on AT&T. In America, carriers have historically found little traction with push-to-talk. The iDEN-based carrier Nextel, now part of Sprint Nextel, gained a lot of visibility offering dispatch service to its customers, at one time around 20 million people. These days, that number of PTT users has shrunk to below 5 million, but other carriers are still trying to pick the Nextel carcass clean. The most dedicated one is the nation's second largest, AT&T. Push-to-talk is obviously still a hobby for AT&T. It's not on many of the carrier's devices, but the ones it is on are robust, in keeping with the historically rugged nature of push-to-talk. Our test devices are Samsung Rugby Pro units. They're still running Ice Cream Sandwich, and they won't win any beauty awards, but they're LTE-enabled, and they're rated to mil-spec 810G standards of durability, including water immersion. They also feature a dedicated push-to-talk button right above the volume keys. From the home screen, pushing and holding the push-to-talk button launches the Enhanced Push-to-Talk app. The home screen is a simple affair, offering access to contacts, groups, and favorites up top, a call history list in the middle, and calling and alerting options down below. Because this is a data-based push-to-talk implementation, you can also set your availability, much like an instant message service or Google Voice or the iPhone's Do Not Disturb feature. When you want to place a push-to-talk call, it's as simple as selecting someone's name from the list, yes, they also need to have a PTT-enabled phone, and pressing and holding the button to talk. You're getting a lot of feedback there because these devices are right next to each other, but when you're through speaking, you release the button, and then the other person can press and hold to reply. Just like that. Yes, I'm testing these myself because no one wanted to test them with me. Womp womp. Now, a lot of people ask why this is still useful, when with a phone call you can have full duplex communication without the hassle of pushing a button. Well, for one thing, there's group calling ability. With the touch of a button, you can be communicating with a large group of people instantly. PTT is also faster. The setup time is quicker than a phone call, and you don't have to deal with protracted steps like leaving a voicemail and waiting for a response and all that kind of stuff. You push the button, you talk, you're either connected or you're not. The closest analogy is that it's like SMS for voice calls. And since it's network supported, you don't have to be in a specific geographic region. One of you can be in Florida, the other one can be in Washington if you're in the United States. The push-to-talk connectivity is unaffected. But that's rude, you say. You've got a phone in your pocket, all of a sudden it beeps and someone's just talking without your permission. Well, we've got the availability indicator, as we mentioned before, and also you can take push-to-talk calls privately on the ear. They don't have to be routed through the speakerphone. And finally, if the conversation's going a little too long, you're getting a little tired of pushing the button, you can easily switch it over to an interconnect call, a regular voice call through the interface. So what's the downside? Well, unlike Nextel's old iDEN network, which was legitimate trunked dispatch radio, the AT&T push-to-talk solution is an app that ties into a data connection to transmit your voice. That has advantages. It means the service can run on a wider swath of Android devices, like the Galaxy S3, as well as the BlackBerry Bold and some specialized devices. The app itself isn't designed terribly well, though, with a UI that takes some getting used to, and there are a few rough edges here. And just like any data-based push-to-talk connection, the service is vulnerable to occasional timeouts, and if the server-side connection fails, you're in trouble. We ran into some problems when we tried downloading a routine update to the ePTT app from the Google Play Store, which momentarily broke our connection to the push-to-talk service. In general, it's less reliable than a dedicated dispatch solution. Of course, with the sunset of Nextel iDEN, even Sprint is using data-based push-to-talk, so these aren't problems unique to AT&T. They're just worth mentioning. When it worked, service was good, and the voice connection was clear, with typical latency of between 1 and 2 seconds. Very good for a data-based solution. That was over AT&T's LTE network. Your experience may differ over a slower connection. At $5 a month on top of a voice plan, or $30 a month for a push-to-talk only plan, is AT&T's enhanced PTT worth the price? Well, it's definitely a stronger offering than their earlier attempts, but with other highly rated push-to-talk clients on the Google Play Store like Voxer and Tickle, most of them free, it's hard to say. AT&T seems the carrier most dedicated to poaching disgruntled Nextel subscribers during the iDEN shutdown, though, and there are some specialized features here. AT&T claims interoperability with LMR and PMR radio systems. So if you're a business owner with dispatch needs, or a Sprint expat looking for a solid carrier-based push-to-talk solution, AT&T has options and a vested interest in keeping you happy. That alone might be worth the small monthly outlay. Folks, that's going to do it for us. We hope you enjoyed our guided tour of enhanced push-to-talk on AT&T in the United States. If you have a comment, please leave it on the post at pocketnow.com so we can get back to you. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up here. And if you don't want to miss anything, follow us on Twitter. Pocketnow Tweets is the official account. I am at Captain2Phones. That's Captain, the number 2 phones. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.